Hey everybody, Steve's Retro. I'm back with another video. Today I wanted to talk about my favorite my top favorite five episodes of Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt, if you're not familiar with the show, was an anthology series that ran on HBO for 7 seasons from June 1989 to July of 1996 for a total of about 93 episodes. The Crypt Keeper hosted each episode. Each episode, he would start out giving a brief synopsis, giving an introduction to the show. Then you would have the show, and then he would do kind of like an epilogue at the end. He was a puppet, kind of like, it would remind you sort of like the Creep from the Creep Show movies. He was voiced by John Kassir. Now, growing up, I didn't get to follow this show very often. We didn't have HBO growing up, so the only time I would get to watch Tales from the Crypt is if I was spending the night with a friend who had it, or if I was over at his house late one night and it happened to be on, or if we were on vacation somewhere and the hotel had HBO, sometimes I was able to catch an episode. Or back in the day, for those of you who are old enough to remember, cable companies would do free HBO weekends or Cinemax weekends, Showtime weekends, stuff like that. So sometimes I was able to catch episodes that way. But wanted to jump on tonight. It was a great show. You have winners, you have losers. Some episodes I like better than others, but tonight I did want to jump on and just talk about my top 5 favorite episodes. And the first one we're going to start off with is a season 1 episode. Season 1 was only 6 episodes, and we're going to talk about And All Through the House. This is a Christmas story. It was written and directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by Fred Decker, whom, if you're a horror fan, you should know about that and know about those guys. And starring Mary Ellen Trainor, Marshall Bell, and the amazing Larry Drake. And what this is a wife decides that she's going to murder her husband and run off with her lover. And she learns that there's been a crazed killer that has escaped and is possibly dressed as a Santa Claus. A storm hits and she's killed her husband. She doesn't know what she's going to do, and she gets the idea of blaming it on this serial killer, this escaped killer from the mental asylum, while she has placed a 911 call to the police. And then their little daughter is, of course, excited about Santa coming, and it's just about the adventures, how they go through the night, and eventually Santa Claus showing up and asking if they've been naughty or nice. This is a story that was also told in the original Tales from the Crypt movie. I believe it came out in 1972. I think it was Joan Collins played the wife in that skit. It was an anthology movie. It told about 5 tales, and I'm not sure what it was titled, but And All Through the House was one of those stories. And I guess I should have prefaced this. These are my top 5 favorite episodes, and they're in no particular order. I'm just going by seasons. My next top 5 is going to be from season 2, and it's an episode entitled Television Terror. Now, this episode starred Morton Downey Jr., who actually had a talk show pre-Jerry Springer on the TV, and he was playing a television investigative reporter type person named Horton Rivers. And he had this show, Horton Rivers Live. And you realize that everybody he's working with on this show, he's just being a complete ass to. Nobody really likes him. And he has decided that he is going to go back to the Ritter home boarding house, which was run by Ada Ritter, who supposedly killed off the patrons in order to collect their, I believe it was their Social Security checks. And Horton realizes all too real that maybe the house is still inhabited. So it was a great episode. It's one of the more frightening episodes, in my opinion. And it's certainly one of my favorite episodes. Next, we're going to be moving on to season 3. And this actually has 2 of my favorite episodes. The first one is going to be entitled Abracadabra. It stars Beau Bridges and Terry Goldwyn as brothers Marty and Carl. And what this all revolves around is a prank where Terry Goldwyn plays a prank on his older brother, Beau Bridges. And Beau is trying to help him. They're both medical students in medical school. And Beau Bridges' character ends up having a stroke, never becomes a surgeon. He loses some motor control in his arm, can't become a surgeon. So he has lost the ability to do that. And Terry Goldwyn's character goes on, becomes a practicing surgeon, doctor. And Beau kind of feels a little bitter about that. And Terry is sort of funding some research that Beau Bridges' character is doing. And it ends up being, I don't really want to give anything away from this episode. Go watch it and come back and let me know what you think about it. It's sometimes tricks you play on people can sometimes come back and bite you with some bad karma. The next one from this season, from season 3, that's on my top 5, is an episode called Top Billing. It stars John Lovitz and Bruce Boxleitner as competitive actors. Bruce Boxleitner has the looks, has the charisma, is a little bit more successful than John Lovitz's character. John Lovitz has lost out on yet another acting opportunity, and he discovers a stage production of Hamlet, I believe, and he mistakenly lets Bruce Boxleitner's character know about this, and he shows up to the audition as well, and they find out all too late that the character that they think they're auditioning for is Hamlet, when actually it's Uric, which I don't know a whole lot about Shakespeare, but it apparently is a dead character, and it's a skull that they're using for that production. John Astin plays the stage production manager, and you find out that through the course of the show that where this casting call is taking place is actually inside a mental asylum. And you find out the ins and outs of the cutthroat competitiveness of the acting world. So that's another episode. 2 more episodes. Those are from season 3. And then my next, rounding out my top 5, is going to be an episode from season 5, and it's going to be titled 2 for the Show. This is an episode that stars David Paymer and Tracy Lords as his wife, and Vincent Spano as a cop who responds to a domestic situation. And what this basically is a twist on the Strangers on the Train story. Vincent Spano, you find out, was actually having an affair with David Paymer's wife. David Paymer killed his wife in a fit of rage and is trying to get rid of the body. Vincent Spano shows up and has his own baggage, so to speak, that he's trying to get rid of, and it all comes back on David Paymer, and it's an interesting tale. So season 5, episode 6, 2 for the Show. Season 3, episode 4, Abracadabra, and episode 5, Top Billing. Season 2, episode 16, Television Terror. And season 1, episode 2, and All Through the House. Were you a Tales from the Crypt fan? What are some of your favorite episodes? Do you remember watching the show? Did you watch the show? Let me know. If you would, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a follow. Let me know what your favorite episode of Tales from the Crypt was. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.